A lot of businesses were hit hard during the recession, but we found a company that actually turned the recession into an opportunity by hiring laid off talent and by locking in some cheaper advertising budgets, and it all paid off. Joining me now is Julie Smolyansky, CEO of Lifeway Foods. Julie, congratulations. I love stories where you sort of refuse to admit that there is a recession. You go on. In fact, you find opportunities within that. And of course, one of those opportunities is a good talent pool, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm a forever optimist. And we really, looked at the trend reports and our sales figures, and we saw that there was no slowdown for Lifeway Foods and kefir sales. And we started to increase our hiring, and we were really lucky because a lot of people that normally would never apply to Lifeway and that they would really only be looking at Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 companies were open to working for a smaller, more entrepreneurial company like Lifeway. And it really, worked to our benefit. And, in addition to increasing our talent pool, we also were able to take advantage of some really great deals in marketing and advertising when other people really weren't doing it.
How did that work out, Julie? Was that a matter of sort of locking in when advertising rates came down as a result of the recession? Is that when you locked in some of these advertising deals?
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. That, they were almost giving it away because nobody was doing it. That was the first thing that went on budgets was advertising and marketing. And so we were able to really use that to our benefit. The other thing is that we were really early adapters into social media and social networking. We even had a MySpace page. That's how early we were. And especially at that time was a fraction of the cost. And so we were really able to build this really great evangelical community within that space.
Well, and it does go with the territory. We were talking to John Mackey not long ago from Whole Foods, and this whole focus on nature foods, it is very tied into the internet. It's a perfect opportunity for that.
Absolutely, because those people are really engaged in what they're eating. They're really interested in learning about the foods, the ingredients, the brands. There's really it's a really natural place for us to be with consumers that are like-minded, and just empower people to make healthier lifestyle and health choices.
By the way, we're looking at your, forgive me, Julie, but we're looking at your product right here for those who don't know what it is, the kefir probiotic. I'm sure you've seen it and so forth. There are certain things, Julie, that it's impossible to avoid, though, when you're in a recession. One thing we've had is the Fed has been pumping more money to try to get us out of this slowdown. Inflation of particularly commodities has gone up. Hasn't that hurt you?
Well, milk prices actually this year were relatively low, and we have a little bit of price elasticity within that space. Where 97% of the kefir industry is dominated by Lifeway Foods. But we also know that consumers are trading down from restaurant visits to grocery store visits, and when they do go to the grocery store, they want access to healthier foods, and they want better for you quality foods. So that has worked in our benefit. But when we know that a third of the U.S. population is obese, and that we're really facing a major obesity and diabetes crisis, and it's really resulting out of our lifestyle, out of the foods that we eat, out of our inactivity. And
you start them young. We're seeing here some products of some oriented towards the younger audience. By the way, we have to go, Julie, but I just have to focus on one other element that you had to deal with. Not only the recession, but your dad died, and you took over the company at the age of 27. I think you were one of the youngest CEOs in the country at the time. What was that like?
Well, it was a really difficult thing to navigate, and again, just like in the recession, and my dad died in 2002, and that's when my brother and I took over the business. We went through a really difficult time, but we thought that and said every day failure is not an option, and that we will succeed, and that's something that my dad always told us. And I dealt with the recession just like I dealt with my father's death, is just my chin held high and persevered through all tough times, and we adapted by innovating and changing up the product and creating some products that were really necessary in the marketplace. And that's something that any company can do in a time of recession, is change it up, create some products that people really want and fill a niche.
You're an inspiration, Julie. You really are.
Oh,
congratulations on your work. We appreciate you. Come back and see us again, please.
Anytime. Thank you.
Julie Smolyansky from Lifeway.